Hmm, hmm, hmm. Hmm. Okay. 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 I need some comics. Probably put up another jump. That's what I do. Theo in the building. First behavior. What up, man? What up? What up? Diabolical in the building. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? People. We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. Huh. Like that zinc, man. Like that zinc. I'm gonna have to cop that zinc. I'm waiting on my dress. Skyline Designs. What's good? Paul Martin. What's happening? Yeah, man, y'all pulling up, ain't y'all? Y'all pulling up. Y'all pulling up. I had a good one for y'all tonight. I got a good one for y'all tonight. And yeah, these stories probably gonna bleed into each other. Hopefully I can get them to bleed into each other, but I'm a good debater. I'm a good talker. I can talk. I can talk. This for Chillmonger if he show up tonight. This for Chillmonger. I'm gonna hound him. Well, of course the MCU said nah, Ashura. Are you still shocked about these kinds of things? If it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, must be a damn duck. So if they reject canon and original looks and original stories and original canon, or not original canon, but canon, then yeah, they're gonna keep on doing it. They're gonna keep on doing it. Not shocked. Not shocked. Not shocked at all. Mr. Mario, what up? Here's the thing. Before we get in that range, I want to have what I like to call the last conversation about Jonathan Majors and Ezra Miller that you will ever have. Okay? And goes a little something like this. We know for a fact Ezra Miller did some stuff that he's working on, supposedly. He's had multiple infractions with the law. Why are we even comparing that to Jonathan Majors? That's not Jonathan Majors' situation. Jonathan Majors has not had multiple infractions with the law. What's up with that? Furthermore, um, people are still going to see the Flash. So if you're going to see the Flash, but you talk trash about Jonathan Majors, why isn't there some kind of self-examination on your part? As it relates, yes, exactly, Theo. Hip o crit. Okay? That's exactly what that is. And what even pisses me off more is I see content providers. And we'll get into that later. But I see content providers telling stories. You know what I'm saying? About Jonathan Majors, but then in the very next breath be like, ooh, I can't wait for the Flash to come out. What? What is that? Nothing? Nobody? Nothing? I ain't gonna name no names, but the content providers know who they are. And I feel like you can tell a story from or do a video on social media from a information perspective, and you can do a story in a video on social media from a personal perspective, how you feel. Like, for instance, a lot of my recast T'Challa videos were emotional. Okay. And because that's how I felt about the matter. Other matters, I'm just reporting information. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Have a nice night. I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. Until I do, y'all be good to each other. That's it. I'm done. I'm not trying to, well, for me, I just say for me. And hopefully y'all can tell when I'm telling a story from an emotional point of view and from an information point of view, an edutainment point of view. Okay, all I'm bringing is the information. Sometimes just the mere act of bringing information to people incenses them because it's the truth, and as we all know, the truth hurts. However, comma, do we have an obligation as people on social media to tell the truth? Or do we feel like people on social media have an obligation to tell the truth or to keep it 100 with you and just, bring Nathan but the facts and I got receipts? What we got here? What we got here? This, let me get these clicks and likes. Damn integrity. I have my issues with the Jonathan Majors fiasco, but I am watching The Flash for Michael Keaton's Batman, not Ezra. Okay. So, Ashura, are you saying that you said disparaging words about Jonathan Majors? Or you said, oh, he's going to jail, or oh, he's guilty? But then in the same breath, you going to, I mean, Ezra Miller is in the movie. You can't help but not see him. I mean, or but to see him. He's in the movie. The movie is his movie. He's the protagonist. You have to see him. So I guess, yeah, you could go see it from a perspective of, but what are we doing? I mean, not that we should do anything, but at the same time, I guess it doesn't mean anything. I guess there has. I'm not calling nobody a hypocrite, but I guess there have to be hypocrites in the world. The world is never going to be 100% hypocrite free, but call a spade a spade. I will. I do all the time. Nico Blue in the building. What's happening? Nico say the truth shall set you free. Yes, that is what the good book say. Well, the good book actually says the truth shall make you free. There's a difference. I try my best to stick to the facts of the nature, but nothing wrong with some shenanigans every now and then. I agree, Blue. There's nothing wrong with shenanigans every now and then, as long as your shenanigans, well, I'm not saying you, but as long as people's shenanigans don't make them look like hypocrites. Okay? Because I ain't going after every story that's hot. I ain't going after everything now because people always come at me. Hey, you gonna do a story on this? Hey, you gonna do? I'm gonna do a story on or a video on what I feel like doing a story on. If that gets me 2 subs or 20 subs, it's academic. Just like my man said, the truth should set you free. I'm all about the truth. I ain't blowing no smoke up nobody's behind. I don't have to. I'm a grown ass man. I don't have to do that. You know, if you either believe what I say, or but what people like to do on social media is attempt to, what's the best way to put it? Debunk what they don't believe. And that's largely what social media is a lot. At least from the perspective of people like me and Blue and Theo, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I'm saying? People come at you because if you ain't got all your facts in a row, if you ain't doing it, you ain't saying that. And it's like, do you understand when somebody's telling a story from personal perspective versus trying to provide your butt with information? People attack you because you provide information to them. At least on social media, they do. Everywhere else is called the news. But everywhere on social media, it's an attack. You know what I'm saying? People are trying to get at you about that type of thing. What Blue talking about? I tend to stick to the kid. Okay, all right. We ain't gonna get into that conversation, Nico. Journalist integrity matters to me, but there is an entertainment value with everything, and you don't have to be a hypocrite to supply entertainment. Never said that, Blue. Or maybe you're making a statement. Okay, I'm not. See that, and that's a common misconception, especially in lives. When somebody says something, how do you know they're saying it to you? If they don't put your name in it, just take it as a statement. It's not them saying it directly to you. They're just making a statement. You know, I get it, Blue. I was there. I was tracking. And that is my segue. It is into how we report stories, how we make videos. When I make a video, at least me, I don't know about nobody else here that does videos, but when I make a video, I got 3 things in mind. Okay, truth, information, entertainment, because that's what I do. How I'm gonna talk about edutainment, and I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you a perspective of I'm gonna try to say this in the most diplomatic way that I can. Since no longer being a MCU stan, I find that I focus a lot of things on giving you what the actual version of a person, place, thing in comicdom stories or whatever is versus what cinematic minds think it should be. I feel like everybody should have the opportunity to look at something and say, okay, I saw this version of it, and I saw and or read this version of it. To me, this is a better version. How do we know people who aren't casuals ain't gonna turn around and say that? Like, that sounds a lot more interesting than what I saw in that corny ass movie, you know? So, you know, what exactly do content providers have an obligation to do or say? in their videos? Or can they just say whatever? Well, they can, because I see a lot of videos of people saying just whatever. But should they? Should people just, willy-nilly, oh, I'm gonna make a video about butt cheeks and I'm gonna talk about butt cheeks for 10 minutes. And if you like butt cheeks, comment, like, and subscribe. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to go, right? Even for those of us that ain't into that sort of thing. If you rock with that individual, you got to watch butt cheeks. You understand what I'm getting at? Where are we at? I don't want to let these run off. Kamoyo Kid, welcome to the building. You expand logic via information. You are vital and very much needed. Ah, thank you. I like the way you put that too, Kamoyo Kid. Nico said, anybody feel like we should have had a black actor come out and press Marvel constantly to help them fix their mess and recast T'Challa? Like it's the literal... I don't know, Nico. I think, especially when it comes to recast T'Challa, that we need to dance the way we feel like we should dance to make that what we feel it should be. Because I don't like rehashing the past, but we backed the horse and it didn't run. And in retrospect, we should have been backing us from the giddy up. Horse references, giddy up. That was totally improv. I don't feel like anybody's, especially after the revelations of the past couple years, I don't feel like any one way to do that is the right way or the wrong way. If it gets traction, if it makes people stand up and take notice, then it's useful. But to just stand around waiting for another man going to do something, never, ever again. I will never back a horse that don't run. Ever, ever, ever again. You know what I'm saying? You know, just talking a big one for likes and subs. You know what I'm saying? And then when it come down to actually doing something, it's like, oh no, I'm not going to do that because I heard that I shouldn't do that. After you got everybody all jeffed up to do it and somebody told you you shouldn't, you're going to go back to a couple 100,000 people and say, don't do that. Don't say that. How should we be reporting stories? Should that story been reported from a crusader perspective or should it been reported from an information perspective? Should have been no I feels in that. Should have just been A, B, C, D information. Not getting everybody all, yeah, we going in. What we gonna do, boss? Never again. Never. Hey, Grand Madam, how you doing? Wonderful to see your face or your little thingy. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Okay. So, good gracious. I've been talking about that long. My goodness. Okay. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. And we're going to talk about Miss Eve. Hey, Mr. Ray Smith. The wrong horse. Ha, ha, ha. I just got who? I mean, never mind. LOL. Hey, Keita, we're here. I'm not. Trust me, Blue. I ain't trying to talk bad about nobody or throw no shade. But if that's what happened, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just saying, okay, yesterday, we was walking down the street and my man got punched in the face. I mean, I ain't trying to make him feel bad, but if that's what happened, that's what happened. That's just where I'm coming from with it. Nico, I'm just saying if Denzel came to his son, John, and literally took it to another level to where Denzel brought a business plan to Marvel where they had John as T'Challa. That, sir, is a Titanic if, Nico. We're assuming that Denzel Washington would go to Marvel and say something to them. We're assuming Denzel Washington would recommend his son to take up the role that Chadwick Boseman once played. So, because I find a lot of people of color are either grossly unaware of who or what T'Challa the Black Panther is, much less go to bat for the character. Again, like y'all all know, I had a very famous celebrity with a fictional comic book character's name tell me Black Panther wasn't important. He's just a fictional character. So, in my mind, I'm not looking for anybody to do it for me, Nico. Do it my damn self. If it's celebrities out there that's talking reckless like that and saying, things like that when their words could contribute and draw attention to that in a positive way. Don't want to do that. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. That's how I feel about celebrities until some celebrities show me different. You know what I'm saying? Is what it is, baby. And he took on the role with the blessing of the family, then that would definitely put a stamp on the legacy of Chadwick the right way and not have him killed off. Remember, Denzel closely watched CB. But that still is no guarantee that Denzel Washington is going to go to bat for his son and say, I think my son should be T'Challa. Let's go. Blues House. That's also if JDW wanted that part. We don't even know if he want to take the role. Did you see the last role John D. Washington's in? Take a look at that. Most people don't understand the importance of the character. They just see it as a role to be played. And I don't think anybody, regardless of what is or isn't said, is going to put the kind of love and care and respect into the role that Chadwick Boseman put into it. I ain't saying can't, but at the same, I'm not looking for anybody to do it like Chadwick Boseman did it. You see what I'm saying? No, nobody's going to be able to do it like Chadwick Boseman did it. Hell, Roger Moore didn't do James Bond like Sean Connery did. Pierce Brosnan didn't do James Bond like them cats did. And Daniel Craig didn't do it like them. You see what I'm saying? But there was a couple of movies. All of them had at least 3 James Bond movies. So that you could see, the character develop and grow. Well, at least not so much with Roger Moore. They were just throwing him in James Bond movies like it's Roger Moore, But like with Daniel Craig, it seems like they actually tried to show some growth and development each movie, rather than they all just be one big run on. Oh, young Nico. We can at least dream or hope. Okay. I was just reminded of something about hope. But anyway, I hope that y'all are hitting that thumbs up and say, D, we're enjoying this discourse right now, and we would like you to continue. And I will continue when y'all go, I like what D Real was doing. Well, I would appreciate it if you did. You're not obligated to entertainment. Never was feeling JDW as T'Challa. Neither was I. The man's short. Real, he like Tom Cruise short. And why I know Hollywood can give them optical illusions. It's kind of hard when you short to make you look tall standing next to a tall person. I think that's the beauty of having multiple actors playing a character. You get to witness the contrast in greatness or lack thereof. Yes, I agree. 100% Blue. Nico? Opinions? Everybody's got one. You know what I'm saying? Everybody might, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people was the Aldous Hodge camp, the Trevante Rhodes camp, the Yahya Abdul Mateen camp. There was a lot of people that had, you know, how many times was you on Twitter and seen somebody put up a thing that had like 9 different black actors on it and was like, who do you think would be best to play the role of T'Challa? Now we viva la difference. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if they don't agree with what you think would be ideal. Just a thought. It's like saying John Boyega should be T'Challa or Blade. People have said that, Diesel. John Boyega as Blade? For me, and this is all it is. I know I'm getting off on a tangent. We're supposed to be talking about Eve Ewing. But for me, I need my actor who plays Blade to move like Blade. You see what I'm saying? I need my actor to move. You got the man. Don't give me. You can. It's so easy to tell the difference, and young Nico can probably back me up here. It's so easy to tell the difference between someone who has mastered martial arts and someone who has studied martial arts. And a lot of times what actors do is they'll go into a dojo, show me how to do a roundhouse kick, show me how to do a side kick, show me how to, throw a combo, show me how to do an arm bar, show me how to, you know what I'm saying? They'll do that. And then they take those moves to the set and they look great. You know what I'm saying? Or you look great while you move, or they have a great stunt man who's a martial artist. I need to see somebody moving that knows how to move. Blade's fluent. Blade is, you know what I'm saying? In that aspect, Wesley Snipes set the bar very, very high physically. Yeah, I agree, kid. We need an unknown or just somebody else. Everett Osborne. There's a difference between Wesley and Sticky Fingers. Boy, is there a difference between Wesley and Sticky Fingers. You ain't never lied, Gray. Huge difference. Choreography versus discipline. Yes, Blue. That is what I'm talking about. Like Cage is a brute boxer. I think you meant Luke. And the term you're looking for, sir, is brawler. Luke Cage is a brawler. Yeah. Or Street Fighter, if you prefer. Fans saying JDW and Tenet equals he should play every available black character. D. Steezel, I know you disagree with that. So do I. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see that. Maybe I would have to see him, suited up, moving, doing, but I don't see him in that role. And what's the question mark? Aldous Hodge as T'Challa? I can name off a billion people who said they would have liked to have seen Aldous Hodge play T'Challa before that Hawkman role, before he got that Hawkman role. A bunch of people. So, and yes, Aldous Hodge is tall for you people that weren't aware of that. Anyway, let's get off of this and get on to Miss Eve Ewing. And I just want it to be known. Let me say for the record right now, I ain't hating. I ain't mad. I ain't disagreeing until Eve give me something to be mad at, hate, and disagree with. Okay? I am pretty sure that if she decides to put her mind to making that book line up with everything that's out there currently, and if I heard right on Theo's live last night, she is, and Jed McKay's run seems to be something we can all get our minds behind. So as far as old Eve's concerned, I want her to do well. I'm not looking at her like we just got done with John Ridley. Like when like on the choosing screen when you choosing a character in a fighting game. I'm not just sitting here like that. You know what I mean? I'm not waiting to get in there and just start throwing combos. Same thing I did with John Ridley. And anybody watched my videos, y'all saw I did a couple videos with folks where we went over the book, and it was just like, this is not the note. This is not the key we should be rocking T'Challa in. We should be doing something way different. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that like issue 5 of the Ridley run. I'm like, really? Is this what we're doing? So trust me when I say, if Eve ain't on point, it's gonna tell long before issue 10. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to see it if you reading it and you sticking with it. And just like Dee Steezel said about the right person playing T'Challa, if that Black Panther comic book ain't on point, you're going to know it when you read it. Right? Or no? Or do we need 10, 15 issues to go, okay, this is great, or this is trash? If she's hitting on all cylinders with that book, it's going to tell long before we get deep off into that run. You know what I'm saying? Go back, check Ironheart. I mean, you say what you want to say about Ironheart. To me, Ironheart was meh. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't, I guess it was groundbreaking because they advertised it enough for it to be groundbreaking. But as far as it actually being groundbreaking, I was not feeling like I was. That's why I only read like a couple issues of Ironheart, and I'm like, it can't even keep my attention. So if Black Panther starts to look like that, I don't know how I feel about that. 2 bad artists in a row should not be a knock on the character. You understand what I'm saying? If okay, we got he who shouldn't be mentioned no more. We know his run was trash. And then if Eve Ewing come through and her run is trash too, what is that going to do to T'Challa? As a character, what is that going to do to T'Challa? See what I'm saying? So stakes is high for Miss Eve. Eve got to bring the funk like your grandpa's feet. You know what I'm saying? That book has to be on point, nonstop on point. Otherwise, because Muzz is, the villagers is in the back with the pitchforks and torches, and yeah, she can't F this one up. She cannot, absolutely cannot. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, all same, I'm in there, girl. Long as you're doing good, keep rocking. But you start giving me Ridley vibes. I'ma have to cut ya. I can't, man. I can't have him messing up T'Challa no more, man. I'm gonna have a conniption if her run is trash. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in these comments? Blue, he said it was an Iron Man book. What Iron Man book has actually been good? The Bob Layton run, Demon in a Bottle, Armor Wars. That was Bob Layton too, wasn't it? Yeah, Iron Man had some good runs back in the day. You didn't specify. You didn't say when. I dislike this weird self-insertion writing style in recent years. The superhero aspect gets lost in these comics. I agree. I also agree with you, Blue. Nobody's checking for Iron Man. I would rather she not botch T'Challa. Church, Kamoyo Kid, Church. At Blues House, Iron Man comics were good post Marvel Now era, in my opinion. Okay, so we are all in agreement that Miss Eve Ewing is under the microscope. I hope Eve Ewing is aware that Eve Ewing is under the microscope, because that's gonna be I don't want to hear nobody say I didn't know, I didn't understand why everybody's shredding my soul. That's pretty much what's going to happen, because I feel like I might snap once or twice, maybe 3 times, but pre-Marvel Now. Okay. All right. Adi Granoff. When Adi Granoff was doing Iron Man, that was decent. It was decent. I like that run. But that was like what, early 2000s? Yeah, man. I can't think of a dope Iron Man run recently. Not real. I don't even check for Iron Man. I haven't been checking for Iron Man for a while. I got like, I'm gonna say it, indies, because like right now, other than like Avengers, whatever Black Panther's going on, maybe a few select titles. Other than that, not messing with the big two. Not too much. Everything I'm grabbing recently has been, indie stuff, or Image, or IDW, something like that. Not the big two. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah. Matt Fraction, Warren. Well, Matt Fraction, come on now. Matt Fraction, Warren Ellis. Come on now. Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking of. I think Adi Granoff was doing the covers. That's it. Okay. You rejecting messages. Okay. Now, y'all, I might get done early tonight. I want to go into an early kind of situation here. We know, yes, Ashura, we have not been remiss about that, but I will mention it for those of you that didn't know. Yesterday, Tina Turner transitioned. I plan to do a salute to Tina on my radio show next week. I'm gonna play all Tina Turner songs, and give like little factoids and information about Tina Turner. Might even talk about what love has to do with it. And Angela Bassett getting snubbed at the Oscars. I'm sorry, I had a moment. Yeah, that would be if y'all don't know, I'm on KONR 106.1 Out North Radio. you can go to outnorthradio.com and look for the Black Business Mixer. And that is the show. It's actually the Fire and Ice show, but / Black Business Mixer. We do all that. But anyway, yeah, I plan to give her. I plan to give her her flowers. Give her the respect that she deserves. I mean, wait, I am not going to make the mistake that somebody made on their live and start talking about women. I ain't getting in trouble. Oh my goodness. Girl had 83 cents in her pocket when she left Ike. I didn't know she fought to keep her name. Ashura, watch the movie What's Love Got to Do with It. You'll get a lot of that information. Whole lot of that information. But yeah, what I was gonna get at is okay, action figure wise, well, you must have forgot it because all of them, what you said you didn't know in the divorce that's in the movie. Anyway, I would like to talk about two of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe. That would be Hercules and the Thing. Hercules and the Thing don't get much love. At least not recently. I have always been a huge fan of Hercules since his kind of appearance in Avengers number 10, way back in the 1963 run. That was the first appearance of Immortus, the future version of Kang. And during that comic book, I think he had pulled the Goliath, Genghis Khan, somebody else, and Hercules out of the time stream to fight the Avengers. And then later on in Thor's comic book, Hercules shows up. And I have always been a fan of Hercules since, I'm going to throw a name out here, and only my OGs is going to know. Not George, Steve Reeves. How many people remember the Steve Reeves Hercules running around swinging them chains and smacking people all over the place and fighting bulls? And yeah, Steve Reeves. Steve Reeves was the first big buff cat I ever saw in a Hercules movie. And then they had Hercules in the comic books, and Hercules was in Marvel Comics, and I was like, yay! I like that guy. You're asking questions. What's the female thing's name? Government name? Her Sharon Ventura is the name of the female thing. Yeah, I heard about that. That's part of the reason why I'm bringing up my man Benjamin. And here's a reference: Harry Cleese. Anyway, Mr. Martin, Hercules Prince of Power was dope. Which one? 82 or 84? I liked 84 because he had a different costume. He had that red and black costume. That was dope. I have both of those limited series. How did Sharon get her powers? Sharon got her powers the same way Ben Grimm got his powers. They went out in space, got hit with cosmic rays. She turned into a thing, and Ben Grimm got thingier, if that's possible. He got more rockier and bigger and thicker and crustier, and he also got stronger. And so at one point he beat the crap out of the Grey Hulk, but the Grey Hulk got a rematch and threw him in the water and did the Heimlich maneuver on him. And anyway, the reason The first one. You like the first one, Mr. Martin. The first Hercules limited series. He's running around with the recorder. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the recorders of Rigel. And these big waterhead aliens. They used to appear in Thor comic books, and the recorders are like robots. They're like humanoid robots, and they go around and chronicle everything because they see it and they record it. Hence the name, the recorder. But Hercules had one of them recorders hanging out with him, and he got into it with Galactus. And Hercules actually made Galactus laugh, and Galactus took off his helmet. That was a cool moment. We don't often see Galactus take off his helmet. We've seen him get it blown off of him a couple times here recently, but never just like kind of, because that seems like a very heavy, apparatus for. Is the thing's final transition is looking like Wonder Man? Okay. Don't confuse yourself for sure. 616, 1610. Two different universes. So that's not the Marvel universe proper. Ben Grimm got his powers when, in order to explain Ben Grimm more thoroughly, we have to back up all the way back to college. Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, and Victor Von Doom all went to college together. Okay? Reed Richards was going to room with Victor Von Doom. But, of course, as we all know, Victor Von Doom, kind of a dingling. And Ben Grimm said, hey, you can come room with me. And they got to having a conversation. And Reed told Ben, hey, one day I want to make a rocket that could fly out in space and do all of these wonderful things. And Ben Grimm said, you know what? You make that rocket, bruh, and I'll fly it for you. After college, Ben Grimm, Theo should like this, Ben Grimm became a pilot in the Marines and had an adventure, a covert adventure with Carol Danvers and Wolverine. I have that limited series. Okay. Later on, when they all got together, he called Ben Grimm. I made the rocket. Come fly it. Then his underage girlfriend and her little brother got in the plane, and we all know how that goes. So a lot of times, I don't think people wanted to hear that story because movies. I think the 1994 Fantastic Four movie, cringe. It had a lot of cringeworthy moments in it, but out of the 3 live action Fantastic Four movies, it seems to stick closer to canon. I could be wrong. Yeah, sure. Where you been? So Richards is way younger than Reed Richards. I think the difference between them is like college and elementary school. That's how much older Reed Richards is than Sue. So there you go. Just got home, but I heard something about Hercules. Yeah, I'm telling them that Hercules and Ben Grimm are 2 of the most amazing characters ever, but they don't really get the respect. I feel, at least I feel, they don't get the respect they deserve. I remember, Hercules had he had that run Herc. I ain't like that. I'm just saying. I know it focused more on his skills and the magical weapons and whatnot, but give me the brawler Herc. And Herc has had in Marvel Comics history, I want to say Hercules has worn about 6 different costumes. He's got the costume he wore with the Avengers when he shaved his beard hair off. Beard hair. Beard. He's got the costume he wore, of course, in Herc, with the sword and the mace and all of that. And then he's also got like a green and white costume where he's got the, the gray streaks in his hair. Then there's this costume that he premiered in Thor's comic with, and that he wore when he was in the Champions. And then we have this Hercules costume when he the run in the Avengers where he got the crap beat out of him by the Masters of Evil. So I guess what I'm getting at here is just recently we saw Hercules cinematically. Is Hercules going to get the respect that, and here I'm getting ready to put it on y'all, and I dare somebody argue with me, besides Gilgamesh, I would call Hercules the world's first hero. Why? Because when we talk about strength, Hercules, first of all, is the god of strength, Prince of Power, Lion of Olympus. Is Hercules stronger than Thor? I would say Hercules is stronger than Thor, but Hercules is not more powerful than Thor. Does that make sense? To be strong, and he's actually, what he's got stunts, he's opened up a mountain, pushed Hulk in it, and closed it back up. So I don't think, I agree, sure. I feel like they're not going to give him the respect that Hercules deserves. However, couple shining moments for me with Hercules, the respect. I think Hercules, when he got the most respect, number one, his run in the Avengers. Number two, a lot of people don't agree, but when he was in the Champions of Los Angeles, when it was him, Black Widow, Angel, Iceman, and Ghost Rider, I liked that book. I wish it would have lasted longer than it did. And when he took over the Incredible Hulk's book for about 30, I want to say 25, 30 issues, Greg Pak, that was a good ass run. And those Ed McGuinness covers, bruh, and then it bled right into the Chaos War, bruh, and the God Squad. Come on, y'all. Now y'all telling me y'all wasn't rocking with Herc and all of that? No. Okay. All right. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. I was reading an omnibus. They didn't mention that when I was reading, but Johnny was definitely Peter's age. Oh, trust me. Oh, trust me, Azure. MCU Herc will be a bigger joke than Thor. What Nico say? I can hope and dream. I have several runs, including the Greg Pak run. Good stuff. Good stuff. Adam Warlock. Yeah. Anyway, nobody really talks about Herc versus battles. Herc is no joke. Herc has washed a lot of people that folks are just like, he's the Josh. Herc done washed them. I bet y'all put some respect on Heracles' name. I like his alter ego. Heracles. Heracles. Get it? Okay. I was rocking with the Champions back then, D. You're not by yourself. Theo, my man. That's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? The maestro. Help me help out. Why is this man or demigod, God, not getting the respect he deserves? Put some respect on Hercules' name. You know where Hercules really got the shine at? In team-ups. You know who had a whole team up book for years and years and years and had some of the best stories in it ever? This guy right here. Remember Marvel 2-in-1? Came out in, I want to say 71, 72. And it was exclusively a Thing team up book. Thing, Marvel 2-in-1, featuring The Thing and somebody. You know, notable Thing comics, Thing and Captain America, and they went time traveling into the future, met the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Project Pegasus storyline, where Ben Grimm was he was at Project, and y'all know Ben Grimm liked to play, poker. That's his favorite thing to do. He get all the superheroes together and have a little poker game. Well, he having a poker game at Project Pegasus, him, Bill Foster, Quasar, and I think some Shield agents or something like that. And criminals just start breaking out of Project Pegasus, and they got to deal with the situation. And Deathlock even made an appearance. Man, put some respect on their name. They are some characters that got history. Why do you go from having your own book or appearing in everybody's book frequently to hardly ever appearing at all? How does that happen? Oh, he's in Fantastic Four. He shows up there. Well, yeah. But I mean, Fantastic Four been around longer than Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the flagship character, though. I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but at the same time, put some respect on Ben Grimm's name. And Ben Grimm got pathos. People feel sorry for Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm feels sorry for himself, but he does the right thing regardless because he could become a bad guy. If anybody is one bad day away from becoming a villain, because I always thought of it like this. Ben Grimm he dated, now he's married to a blind woman. He made of rocks. Was it coincidence in the most recent runs of Fantastic Four that I think it's like once a year for like 12 hours or something like that, Ben Grimm can turn back into his human form, and he went on his honeymoon. And the island he went to had the Hulk on it. So him and the Hulk ended up squaring off. And I think that was the comic where Ben Grimm hit him so hard that he broke his arm. When we gonna put some respect on that man's name? How durable is the Thing? Well, I mean, okay. How durable is the Thing? Okay, let's find out. All right. For you, Ashura, the Thing's highly advanced musculature generates fewer fatigue toxins during physical activity, granting him superhuman levels of strength. When in his Thing form, he only has 4 fingers on each hand and 4 toes on each foot. The loss of 1 digit of each hand and foot, aside from the increase in volume of the remainder, does not affect his manual dexterity. However, he has been shown to do things like hold a pencil and using it to dial a phone or to push buttons on a keypad. Okay, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. Oh, here we go. He is capable of surviving great impacts of force without sustaining injury because his body is covered with an orange, flexible, rock-like hide. He is also able to withstand gunfire from high-caliber weapons as well as armor-piercing rounds. It is possible to breach his exterior, however, and he does bleed as a result. Wolverine. cutting his face, and he had to wear that bucket for a little while. Remember when Hercules died during Greg Pak's run and some of his ex-girlfriends showed up? Yeah, and talked about talked about how potent Hercules is. Show some respect to these people. Show some respect to these characters. We need to have a Marvel 2-in-1 again. And let Ben Grimm be in Marvel 2-in-1, and then revive Marvel Team Up and put Hercules in Marvel Team Up. How cool. You have never seen Ben bleed but pushed into a wall or rock. But pushed into well, adamantium can cut through his hide. So that might be the reason why he had the bionic, because I mean he can be, but just like anybody can be cut or hurt or can sustain damage. Hell, what was it? It took the combination of some of the most powerful members of the Masters of Evil in the Avengers run to make Herc bleed. So I get it. Thing's been one of my favorites since childhood, right next to Hulk and Spidey. Punched, I meant. I've never seen Ben bleed, but punched into a wall of rock. Yeah, well, pick up that Fantastic Four comic book where him and Wolverine get into it. I think it's the two Fantastic Fours, and Wolverine gets a little buck nutty and cuts Ben Grimm's face, and the rocks are gone. So, yeah. Just like Batman should have broken his leg kicking Hulk in that whack crossover, Shang-Chi probably should have been injured kicking the Thing. Yeah, well, I've seen Shaolin monks kick rocks and not kick rocks. I've seen, Shaolin monks kick rocks and not sustain injury. So, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the situation. That could go either way with me, Mr. Martin. Can he tank a nuke point blank? Can Ben Grimm tank a nuke? I haven't seen it. But if I had to hazard a guess, I would say no. I do not think he's durable, but I don't think he's as durable as a Hulk or someone like Luke Cage, whose like primary power is steel hard skin. You know what I mean? So Ben Grimm was one of my dad's favorites too. I mean, Ben Grimm is, for a long time, I don't know about none of y'all, I treated Ben Grimm like he was one of us. Because that's, to me, how Ben Grimm got treated in the comics. You know what I'm saying? So it was always kind of I identify with Benji. Even though he's Jewish, I identify with Benji. I'm feeling it. Him and his Aunt Petunia and the Yancey Street Gang and all of that. See, he was in a gang, all of that. But he could have very easily have been a brother. Very easily. Went to the military, went to the Marines. You know what I'm saying? Could have very easily been a brother. Could have been Benjamin Demetrius Grimm. Or Benjamin Tayshawn Grimm. Just how I feel. And that Greg Pak run on Hercules, they actually told his origin story. And they did a rather respectful job of it. If you've ever read the story of Hercules, like in something like Bullfinch's mythology or Dolaire's mythology, where they just break it down and they talk about his relatives and his friends and his homies and these people that didn't like him and all of that, you get a very lush story of Hercules And he ain't just a big, strong guy who did 12 labors. You know what I mean? Hercules wasn't even his name for a little while. You know what I mean? He had to, be given that name. So, yeah. And Hercules is merely the Latin pronunciation or the Latin version of Heracles. His name is actually Heracles. Delphinius, I believe that is his name. Delphinius. I can't say it. I know it's a fancy one. Ashura is asking more questions. Has his aunt ever showed up? I know it's a running gag catchphrase when you get. The story was actually told where he actually went to live with his, I forget the uncle's name, and Aunt Petunia, but Aunt Petunia was much younger. See that theme in the Fantastic Four? Was much younger than the uncle. But they're the ones that got him out of the gang stuff, and Ben Grimm actually, the reason Ben Grimm got to go to college is because he got a football scholarship. Tell me Ben Grimm couldn't have been a black guy. Everything in Ben Grimm's life sounds like a black guy. That's why I'm like, that's why I feel him, man, because he's just he get an honorary pass. You know what I'm saying? Ben Grimm get a ghetto pass. You know what I'm saying? For me, Ben Grimm get a ghetto pass. Yes, young. I talk. It's a theme over there in the Baxter Building. They like them. They like them fresh. Hercules, Kamoyo Kid, to me is more of a hedonist, and Hercules likes to party. Hercules likes to smash chicks. Hercules likes to drink. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? And he come back to Earth. I guess ascending to Olympus doesn't make you not want to party no more. Because he come back and he partying hard. You know what I mean? So Ben is as white as Hercules. Okay, Mr. Spoil all the fun. I didn't say he was black. I said he could be. And a lot of the situation in his life parallel black people. You can't deny that. Sorry, not sorry. How you doing, Chill? Oh my goodness. Oh, I love the people who I interact with most of the time. I see you, Chili. Chill. Y'all rock with my man Chillmonger. He is a very, 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 in my opinion, insightful human being. A lot of times that works to his advantage. Other times, ignorant people don't see the insightfulness. See what I did there? Anyway, the Yancey Street gang was always seen in the shadows. So what was the gang he ran with? The Yancey Street gang. What happened, Ashura, was he was the lead. Ben Grimm used to be the leader of the Yancey Street gang. Okay, but what happens is what comic books like to do a lot is retroactively tell stories. So originally, the Yancey Street gang was just they knew that Ben Grimm was from the neighborhood, and so the Yancey Street gang always hounded Ben Grimm and played pranks on him and mess with him and all kind of stuff like that. But then later on, when we had the Fantastic Four relaunch and they started like kind of retelling stories, then we got to hear the story of Ben Grimm's life and how he went to live with his Aunt Petunia and uncle, whoever his name was. They did that to get him out of the gang life. They took him to get him out of the gang life, and he got out of the gang life, and They didn't like that. Like most gangs, when you just leave the gang and they don't like you leaving the gang, they didn't like Ben Grimm leaving the gang. They can't beat him up, so they play pranks on him. That's all you can do. Yancey Street Gang ain't got no adamantium. Yancey Street Gang ain't got no nuclear weapons. So that's all they can do to Ben Grimm is play pranks on him. Yes, D. Steezel, Ben did have a lot of hood storylines. Probably still my favorite story from the old Fantastic Four run. That as it relates to Ben Grimm, This Man, This Monster. And I don't know if anybody's ever read that story, but it's got a really cool picture of Ben Grimm on the front, and he's kind of like in this kind of, I can give you a visual aid. He's kind of like in this really contemplative pose, maybe I would need to use this thing, as it is a little more expressive than this version of the thing, but I think this is just this thing with extra head sculpts and some hands and some different shorts for the most part. Exactly. They a gang. Have you ever seen a gang member? Have you ever actually been up close and talked to and dealt with a gang member? They have a very, it's either this way or I'm gonna kill you type attitude. So for them to be like, if they had Uzis or AR-15s, they wouldn't have penetrated my man's high. So let's make him step in Dookie. You know what I'm saying? Let's make some trash fall on his head. That kind of thing. And you need that. How would that not translate well to a movie? See what I'm saying? So I think they would try to make, the Yancey Street Gang more edgy if they put them in a Fantastic Four movie, because I don't think they would fly as pranksters. And again, I'm gonna throw another OG reference out there. The Yancey Street Gang, from what I can see and what they do, are patterned after the Bowery Boys. I don't know. That's an old reference right there. I don't know if nobody in here remember the Bowery Boys, but if you ever remember watching them old black and white movies back in the day of the Bowery Boys, they was kind of, and that's how they talk. They talk like Ben Grimm talks. And I think that's where a lot of the Yancey Street Gang and even Ben Grimm's speech patterns are drawn from. So you can check it if you want to. Oh, Theo's facting me, so I must be in the right neighborhood. I was just gonna mention the Bowery Boys. Kamoyo Kid says, "Wow, the Bowery Boys." So there are a few people in here that used to watch the Bowery Boys. Nice to know I'm not the oldest fart in the room all the time. Say, if you don't know the Bowery Boys, you lying or you under 30. Oh my goodness. And Hercules was always like a stalwart of Thor. You know what I mean? He just, I think Hercules could have had a comic book that ran for a while, because I know like Charlton Comics. Ooh, I'm dating myself. They did a Hercules comic book that ran for a while, and I'm like, why won't Marvel give Hercules a comic book? Just a little limited issue series. Look, I mean, they did 2 limited series, and they were like both 4-issue series, and they were within 2 years of each other. So that means there was positive response to both limited series. Why didn't you do like a maxi series? That's what they were doing like back in the 80s. They were doing maxi series. They were doing 12-issue maxi series. They were doing Secret Wars, the Secret Wars, not all of these cast-offs that are trying to claim the name and do something different. But 12-issue series like that. There were a couple others out there, but I feel like Hercules didn't get his run, didn't get his shine, didn't get what we want to see, like how Greg Pak did. We want to see her out front, and it worked for like 30 something issues. Why didn't they give my man a comic? Kimoyo Kid said he referred to his brawl buddies as boon companions. Yes, and Hercules was always willing to bestow the gift. I love that about Hercules called it a gift. I shall bestow upon thee the gift. And who's got a better battle cry than this guy right here? Who's got a more recognizable battle cry than this guy right here? Help me help him, y'all. CM Punk got a comic book, Chillmonger? That's right, Gray. That's right. It's clobbering time. And we've heard it in cartoons. We've heard it, well, to lesser effect, cinematically. Ben Grimm is like, he should be a top tier character. Should be. But unfortunately, he always gets lumped in with the Fantastic Four. I know. And Chillmonger knows that too. He's being facetious. Anywho, oh my goodness. My, how time flies when I'm talking about stuff I like. Oh! Ben Grimm was even in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the comic book ones. What hasn't Ben Grimm done? You know what I'm saying? Travel to different dimensions with Lockjaw, teleporting all over the place for craps and giggles. But Ben Grimm can do that because Ben Grimm's durable. Sure. Thoughts on the writer of Ant-Man 3 being fired and being a leaker? I guess if Ryan doesn't make a bill for BP3, he's going to be the second writer to not going to write an Avengers movie. No, I do not have thoughts about that, sure, because I don't care about what they're doing in the MCU unless they're doing something as it relates to T'Challa. If it ain't relating to T'Challa, I might talk about it briefly, but I didn't get off into that. Chaos War was crazy. Several heroes like Marvel resurrected and all. Yeah, that one time. Well, they did it. They time displaced. Yeah, it's still people mad about Marvel. Still people mad about Marvel. Why? Why, Smalls? Why did you have to kill Marvel and kept him dead for a good long time? What Kamayo Kid said, no T'Challa, no ticket. I ain't going with y'all. I ain't paying no money. They ain't getting no more of my money. I just canceled my Disney Plus subscription. They ain't getting no more of my money. I'm good with it. I can't do nothing with them. I have nothing for them. And what about all the old school cartoons? I got all of them joints. I can put them on my computer if I want to. I got them on DVD. What's happening? I said DVD. Anyway, these things said Marvel 2-in-1. Yeah, I did. I mentioned it. Just Johnny and Ben adventures. Nah, I like Ben when he was teaming up with everybody. There's a really cool Marvel 2-in-1 where it starts off in Marvel Team Up with Spider-Man and the Thing, and then it continues in Marvel 2-in-1 with the Thing and Spider-Man. I mean, that's the kind of clever writing they did back in the day. But Marvel hates its OP male characters. They either nerf them or shelve them. But you can't have, well, yeah, if you making Mila Kunis the Thing, yeah, you are 100% shelving him. And that's effed up, in my opinion. They're both great characters, and they about to get farted on, cinematically. I'm here. Hopefully, someone will see these videos and stuff that I'm saying and other people are saying, and like it's like Nico said, I can hope and dream. I can hope and dream. You know. Yeah. You know what? I said that the other day on Twitter, and somebody told me to move on. Why? Why did I strike a nerve? You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. The toys aren't selling. The toys ain't gonna sell because action figures aren't directed toward females. It's obvious. I mean, they directed them towards them, but they didn't get the response they had hoped for. Make sense? The Marvel 2-in-1 annual crossover with Avengers where they fought Thanos was fire. Oh, that's a classic, Paul. That's a classic. It starts off, though, in Avengers Annual number 7, where Marvel and Adam Warlock team up with the Avengers, and Adam Warlock gets killed by Thanos, and then Marvel 2-in-1, which Mr. Martin refers to with the Avengers, Spider-Man, and The Thing plays a pivotal role in helping them to well, first of all, the Avengers got took out by Thanos and was being held captive, and Chaos and Order, along with Moondragon, guided Peter Parker, Spider-Man, to the Baxter Building. Like, something's out going on in space. I'm getting a signal, Ben. You got to take me out in space. And Ben takes him out in space. And they see Thanos' ship. And they get on Thanos' ship. And they start fighting. And Spider-Man is weirded out because he sees big, giant alien creatures and monsters and things. And he's like, oh, snap, I can't take it. And took off. But he, again, he was being integral in freeing the Avengers from stasis. So, Spider-Man on Galactic Adventures, not really his cup of tea. Right? Right. What's going on? MCU merch is in the toilet for the most part. Yeah. Hulk, Thing, Drax, Thor, no Blue Marvel, Adam Warlock, Hercules, and even Swole. Ashura said, I went to buy my new Zelda game on the 12th, and Wakanda Forever toys, and big and small. Yeah, they might as well put them all in a incinerator. I actually had the Marvel 2-in-1 annual first, then got the Avengers annual years later. Yeah, well, in Marvel 2-in-1, they explain the events that occurred in Avengers annual number 7, but you apparently you can get the story just as easily. Again, in closing, I would like to say, put some respect on these. Look at Hercules, man. Hercules is happy, man. Hercules don't want nothing but to party, have a little drink, smash Jennifer Walters, maybe Carol Danvers, somebody who could take it. I can't believe I just said that. But Ben, he's the quiet type until you rouse him. He wants to have him some milk, chill out, read books, watch movies, have him a stogie, play some poker, just like you and me. Every day, ordinary. Well, Hercules ain't ordinary, but well, neither of them are ordinary. I read somewhere too. You know what else these two guys have in common? From what I am led to understand, they are both immortal. Fancy that! Benji's gonna be around forever. I mean, technically. She-Hulk pulverized Tony. He couldn't handle it. I want the new Sue Storm that's out right now. Ain't that just a repaint? Gray? Ain't that just a repaint? Like a lot of them. He's got hands instead of fists. They just recast them, repaint them. It's same body type, same everything. Same everything. I think Hercules would kill Ben in a fight. Pummel him to pieces. Ben's a brawler. Ben's very close to the 100-ton range and strength. But yeah, I don't know about pound him in the dust, but I mean, I do think Hercules would take him, you know. Even though Ben Grimm is a brawler, we're talking about the guy who started the Olympic Games. We're talking about the guy who created pancreation. So, and he's got a couple thousand years of experience on Ben Grimm. Yeah, I'm saying Herc would wash him too. Let's see. Let me feel the last thing. Like Gray said, Ashura, no, it's different, bro. Gamora and Tony smashed. He couldn't handle that either. Tony must. Let me stop talking. Yeah, Steezel, the comic versions are superior. Of course. Of course. Pancration, the forerunner of MMA, sir. Yes, Hercules is an amazing archer. he once he once shot a centaur with a poison arrow who was trying to run off with his wife. So yeah, Hercules is a damn good archer. What comic is that? That's Greek mythology, bro. That's the story of Hercules. Man, y'all need to get in some books and read them hoes, man. Story of Hercules is great. Hercules is the first superhero. Period. Bar none. I mean, you could present an argument for Gilgamesh, but the stuff that Hercules does is the stuff you see in comic books. Hercules fought a 3-bodied giant. A 3-bodied giant? 3 bodies crammed together? Man-eating birds. Boars. Bulls. Hydras. Held up to earth. But isn't Hercules a womanizer and a cheater himself? Well, yeah and no. The myth of Hercules, the reason why Hercules had to perform 12 labors, you gotta understand. Hera, queen of the Olympian gods, hates all of Zeus's bastard children. And She makes it her business to torture him and give him a hard time every step of the way. Hercules was no different. She made Hercules see an illusion that his first wife and his two sons were monsters. And Hercules ended up killing his first wife and his two sons. In order to repent for that crime, he was sent to work for his cousin Eurystheus. And Eurystheus charged Hercules with the 12 labors, which he executed. When he was done, okay, I'm cool now. I'm going to be a good guy. So what he ended up doing was finding him another wife, Deianira. And she was worried about that very thing. If Hercules cheats on me, is he going to cheat on me? Enter the centaur. And centaurs are known for running off with women, but Hercules wasn't having it. Killed him. As the centaur was dying, the centaur told his wife, take some of my blood. And if Hercules ever cheats on you, rub some of it in his clothes and it'll make him love you again. That wasn't the case. It burned the shit out of his flesh, so much to the point where he built a funeral pyre and set himself on fire and ascended to Olympus and became a full god. So there. Grace said, I got that Guardians comic at D Steezel and at Ashura when Tony tried Gamora, and she said there's levels to this. Yes, MCU Zeus was whack. Paul Martin said Greek mythology got too freaky for younger Paul. Zeus didn't believe in consent. I dropped those stories. Well, as we all know, people in that region are a little rapey. So, yeah. Soon as Agamemnon conquered Troy, the first thing he did was rape Helen. So, yeah, they got some issues with that. That I think that's where the saying to the victor goes the panties. Yes, he did physically come back as a god. Remember, if you recall, well, you probably will recall, Zeus forbid anyone to go down to Earth. And ironically, ended up banishing Hercules to the Earth. So, I don't get that. Why are you going to banish him to a place you said you didn't want nobody to go? But I think Hercules was his favorite, and he kind of was just really like, go on, son. You done smashed everything in Olympus. Go on back down there and do your daddy proud. I think I've only seen Hercules in a relationship once, maybe twice. But yeah, he's definitely a womanizer. Definitely a womanizer. But he's still my dude. And Ben Grimm is still my dude. They need to put some respect on them cats' name. Look here, y'all. Oh, if Chillmonger, look, Chillmonger, look, it's Jon Stewart Green Lantern. I couldn't find a Hal Jordan one. Fancy that. Are there any stories of a Herc harem? Yeah, if you count that one story where he died and all the superheroines he went and smashed came and was talking about, oh yeah, he's Daddy Longstroke. He's the man, 100 grand. Yes, absolutely. You could call him a harem. You see that She-Hulk book where not she? Yeah, he hit that too. Yeah, Herc get around like Tupac. That's right. Put some respect on Jon Stewart's name. That was my Debo. Don't get Chillmonger started. Don't get Chillmonger started. He mad because I told him he sit on Throne of Lies. Chillmonger is my dude, man. I love that guy, man. He's He's okay with me. Look here, y'all. It is the minute 34 mark. We've been rocking out a half. Bruh, what did I just say, Ashura? Hercules gets around like Tupac. He gets the drawers. I mean, that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Currently, Hercules is not married, I don't think. And if it's two consenting adults, what the problem is? Misty's so serious, but if Misty see a big hairy Greek guy that's suave and debonair and he can play the lute and sing songs and tell stories about himself, you know what I'm saying? See, you're on an island. You're on an island, chill. We are all pro Jon Stewart in this camp. Jon Stewart. He say them ladies want that Herc work. Okay. That I would be too if he were the primary lantern. Who we ain't seen in how long? I'm just saying. We can get into this another time, Mr. Monger. I am getting ready to. Whoa, wait, these Diesel said something deep. GL Core, Nova Core, Dark Stars, Jedi, Sith, etc. LOL aren't derivatives. For a whole generation, he was. And for some reason, my man don't care nothing about that generation. He like, y'all ain't nobody. Shut up. I ain't listening to y'all. Y'all young. Don't nobody care what y'all think. I'm going to thank you for mentioning that, Chillmonger, because my homies, Greg Burnham and Marcus Williams, did some milestone books. They did the static book. Well, not the static book, but Marcus did a static cover. And Greg is writing on milestone right now. So proud of my peoples. I'm at the holla at him. Anyways, though, what's the beef with Stewart between me and Chill on Jon? Well, Mr. Monger contends that Jon Stewart here is naught but a backup. That he is not that Green Lantern, since Hal Jordan is the so-called primary Green Lantern. To me, it feels like there's been a continental shift in Green Lantern popularity as far as all that goes. So my man disagrees. He argues that point vigorously. I respect that. I like that, but just don't 100% agree. Well, and Assure, that is what I say. That is what a lot of people say, but that is not what Mr. Monger says. So, again, viva la difference. He wrong. But I respect your right to be different, sir. That's no big deal. Yeah, that's what I say, kid. Stewart is the upgrade. Look here, though, y'all. I got to get up, get off, get out of here, get something, man. I am going to be doing videos this weekend. I'm back to work. If y'all have not seen my video I did about Daniel Craig and his missed opportunity to be Balder the Brave, y'all go ahead and check that out, man. But I am you, sir, don't get to call me Mr. Akins. You're going to call me Mr. Real. I'm fucking with you. I'm about to get up and get off, y'all, man. But see, you on the island, chill. I ain't even got what Tupac say. I ain't even got to say nothing. I'm gonna let my little homies ride on you. Look here, y'all. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'll be coming at y'all with another one of the other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other. Outro, outro, outro. Peace.